Here we are for the Kickstarter update. As you may know, as you may have demanded, I need to go through Rockstars on God Volume 3 one last time with a fine-tooth comb to find anything needs to be corrected before we print the bulk number of copies. Kind of reminds me of Monty Python, like a desk out in the middle of nowhere, but that's where we're going to do the work. All of it. I've designed several variations of the book, or had copies printed. It's the great thing about print on demand. You can print one copy and check it out. I just want to show you some of the things I found. Like, never thought I'd find this many things to correct. Look at comma needs to go there in the Alter Bridge Creed interview. Right here, look at that space between the sentences. There needs to be a space there. How could I miss that? You know, when I look back at my career as editor of HM Magazine, my junior year in college, I decided, hey, I want to start a magazine. I want to do that as my career. And I juggled together a minor in journalism, and I took a couple feature writing courses, a public relations course, and I wish, looking back, I would have taken one editing course. It probably would have taught me so much. It would have taught me to be ruthless. And look how Galactic Cowboys was misspelled. How did that make it through in the Dream Theater interview, of course, because they toured together? And little thing here, little quote mark needs to be around, an interior quote mark. And looks like I have a pronoun situation here. Who knew in 2024? This is talking about Paul Kupek, who is definitely a him, not a her. So I'm glad to fix that. Didn't spell Nirvana with a capital N, even though I'm not talking about the band, I'm talking about a place. And most commonly, that is capitalized. Anyway, just showing you some of my mistakes. When are you gonna make a video and show me your mistakes? I mean, come on, people. Let's get vulnerable with each other. Aren't you glad I'm just kidding? And so anyway, here's some of the mistakes I have made. But yeah, if I would have had a chance to go back and do it all over again, probably would have taken an editing course in college. And that would have helped me immensely. It would have taught me to be ruthless with chopping stuff up. It would have changed the style of Heaven's Metal and HM Magazine, though, because I find it very hard to get rid of content that I thought was crucial, good, entertaining, and edifying. And it was always difficult for me to cut up those words and to chop things up. But those of you who have been taught editing in school, you learn to be ruthless, that words are just things on a page and you cut them up, chop them up, and you don't have any emotional attachment to them. Like any artist or creative person, sometimes you have to cut the umbilical cord after you create something. I think that was a mistake that I changed. So where do we have a mistake right here? Or this page is dog-eared to change something, but I don't see any revision. So anyway, I have to make these changes. One time, a memory about being an editor is one of my good buddies, John Wilson, used to write for me in the early days of Heaven's Metal, and he reviewed the Living Sacrifice demo. And he tells me that when he turned in the review, that I corrected one of his words that was spelled correctly, and I changed it to a word spelled incorrectly. I'm guessing off the top of my head, maybe it was a word like there. You know, it could be T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, or it could be T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-R-E. I bet it was one of those kind of words that could have gone one of three ways, and I printed it the wrong way. He was so mad at me for taking something that he spelled correctly and changing his words to be a typo. What a dope I feel like sometimes. So I need to go back in there into my Adobe InDesign program and make these changes, and then I will press the button to order a few hundred copies of Rockstars on God Volume 3. Here's a couple last minute updates on the cover. I put this over so it aligns right with the right side of that column. Tried to balance this out so it's even when it actually gets put on the spine. I want to keep that centered. And I capitalized the way of the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me, because that's the way it's done in each of the interviews. sometimes I'll put it in lowercase if the person that's saying it doesn't believe the deity of Christ. But I think every single interview, when I ask them the question, it's me speaking, so I believe in the deity of Christ. So I made this consistent with everything in the book. Also found a space between this and is. It was 2 spaces, not 1. So I'll fix that. Yay. Yes, I am utilizing a very important tool to make sure I see all the corrections I need to. That very important tool, light. I've made all the edits, corrections. Now I'm going through and just checking the beginning and end of every paragraph of the interviewee to make sure there's quote marks. It's kind of a simple thing because I just train my eyes to look at the beginning and end of the paragraphs. Like when they start speaking again, there's no end quote, but there's a start of one there. I uploaded the latest files, so I'm just waiting for digital proof. Then I'll order a proof copy that I'll have overnighted, and then if that looks good, I will order a whole bunch. As a cat owner, doesn't get much better than this. How do you guys like being owned, huh? Like you're my beast or my property. E.T. likes the nook, and my knee. Romeo likes the shoulders area. But I'm going after the 1,000-foot crutch hairdo. Do you like my haircut today? Do you?